Adam and I are stand-up comedians, and I find there's like a common thread between comedians and baseball players, and that is drunk, loud hecklers are something both industries deal with. Uh, in college, or even pro ball, have you ever got heckled or witnessed a teammate get heckled where it like stands out? It was memorable. Like the worst hecklers are the ones that are actually funny and make everyone around them
Yeah,
laugh. Has there ever been anything like that that stands out in your memory?
yeah, yeah.
Very excited to be joined by today's guest, pitcher for the Toronto Blue Jays organization. He finished his season at high A with the Vancouver Canadians, TJ Brock. Welcome to the Walk-Off, man. Thanks so much for taking the time.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
TJ,
man.
before we get carried away, would you just tilt it down a touch? All we're picking up from you is above the nose. So,
Okay. Yeah, can you see now?
There we go.
there we go.
Love
There we
it.
get that handsome face in there.
So before we even
Perfect.
get going, man, just want to send out a congrats to you on your first season of professional ball. Not a lot of guys get to do it. Very, very cool, man.
Yeah, thank you. No, I appreciate that.
You're an Ohio boy, right? Are you home right now?
No, I wish. I'm actually I'm at the PDC right now. I'm training here, but it's hot. It's really hot, but I'm always wearing, I miss home, but I know you can't beat Florida.
Yeah, it's funny. You've got a little bit of Canadian in you in that everything is hot when you leave Ohio, right? Well, let's start there then.
Everything is so hot. It's like 30, 38 degrees.
Buddy, the complex is pretty wild, eh?
The complex, I love it. I mean, I've never seen anything like that before in my life. Like the amount of stuff that is there that I've never seen before is like ridiculous. I mean, you just walk in, you see this room, you got this room for this reason, this room for this reason. I'm like, how many rooms are there? We got everything there.
Man, it must have been a little overwhelming because you've had a wild 6 months.
Yeah, no, it was definitely overwhelming. I mean, it was a lot of traveling. I mean, I was in the Cape for the summer, and I was in the Cape. Then I got drafted, and I was like, all right, cool, I'm down in Florida. And it's like, oh, okay, all right, now I'm down in Florida. I'm here for 2 weeks. And it's like, they're like, do you got your passport? And I was like, no, it's expired. Like, all right, you're going to Miami real quick. You're gonna go get a passport there. So I go to Miami, get a same day passport. They call me like, did you get your passport? And I was like, yeah, I got it. Like, all right, you're flying to Canada tomorrow. And I was like, all right, I guess I'm flying to Canada. So hopped on a plane, flew out there, and it was fun.
Well, let's go through this journey a little bit here. Let's start with you getting drafted, taken 188th overall, 6th round. Did you know the Blue Jays were going to take you, or was it kind of up in the air right till the last minute?
No, I knew they were gonna take me. I knew they were gonna take me in the fifth round. When the fifth round started, I knew they were gonna take me in the sixth round. Just based off of some communications that I was having and they were having with other people that were representing me. So I knew they were gonna take me in the sixth round, and I was really excited. It gave me enough time to like call my mom and tell her like, hey, turn the TV on and all that.
Yeah.
So it was exciting, but it was really cool though.
Were you still nervous until they called your name? Or were you
No,
like, no, this is
I don't
done?
get.
You don't get nervous.
Yeah, I was the guy. Yeah, no, I don't get nervous. Like I knew I was getting drafted. I wasn't even at my house when I got drafted. Me and my buddy, we were going to get some food. I was going to get some wings. Like wings are my favorite food. I don't know why. He's like, what do you want to? He's like, what do you want to do for the draft? And I was like, I don't know. We could worry about it. He goes, like, it's coming up soon. Like, you should be getting called soon. I was like, yeah, I really don't care. Like, I'm so hungry right now. Like, we got to get some food, bring it back to the house. So as I'm on my way getting the food, they called me and I was like, they're like, do you want to be a Toronto Blue Jay? And I was like, yeah. So it was a little simple question. It was awesome though.
What did you know about the Toronto Blue Jays before they drafted you? Did you know anything about the organization, or were you starting from scratch?
No, I mean, I knew they had like great pitchers, great players. I don't know. It was mostly just like the big name players. The I guess I would say like the only thing I didn't know. I don't even know how to describe this, but like I didn't know that this was when I was a kid. I knew it now, but when I was a kid, I didn't know like the Toronto Blue Jays like I thought they only played in Canada. So I thought people like this is when I was real little, like 6. I just knew this. I remember asking my mom because the Reds played them one time, and I'm from Cincinnati. So I was like, so do the Blue Jays just stay in Canada and everybody just goes up and plays them? But I later grew up and found out that like that's
They
not
travel
it.
too.
That's
Yeah.
not how it goes.
That'd be
Yeah,
a
I was
home
like,
field
no,
advantage, though.
they
No road
travel too.
games.
Yeah,
I think
right. I was
most
like,
Jays
dang, that's
players
kind
would
of
be fine
nice.
with 162 home games, right?
And I'm part of one of them. I'd love 162 home games.
So, my man, tell me about just your post-draft experience, because things happened pretty quickly after they drafted you. I mean, you were down in Dunedin almost instantly. How did that go about? Did they just pretty much draft you and were like, all right, pack your bags, kid, you're heading down to Florida?
Yeah, I think I got drafted on a Monday. I think it was a Monday, and they're like, or two. Yeah, it was a Monday. And like, can you fly out Wednesday? And I was like, not a shot. I can fly out Wednesday. I was like, because I still have to unpack all my stuff from the Cape. But they're like, all right, can you fly out Thursday? I was like, yeah, for sure, I can fly out Thursday. So I flew out Thursday, got here, and just had to, do a bunch of tests and stuff on my body, like blood work, making sure I was like vaccinated, all that. And it was a long process, but then after that, everything, all that was like squared away. We had a 2-week draft camp, and the Blue Jays are the only organization that does a 2-week draft camp. And I got a lot of my friends were drafted this year, multiple years before that, and I was telling them about it, and they said like it's one of like that's a really dope thing that the Blue Jays do, and I was like, oh, I loved it. Like the 2-week draft camp, you just get drafted, you don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
I have no idea what I was going to expect at all, anytime, whenever. So it's like, all right, this 2 weeks, it eases you into like the pro ball lifestyle, and having the support staff, so you get to meet every single person, the support staff, like their area. So it made it super easy when it was like, all right, this 2 weeks is over, you're going to go play, you've seen some familiar faces, you go to, when I was in Vancouver, so that's very far from Florida. So it's like, all right, I'm up in Vancouver, but I know what the support staff has for me. So it made it really easy, to be adapted and also still maintain and like reach my goals and continue to be a better baseball player. So the 2 week
That's really
draft process, like that,
that's
it was
really
really
cool, man.
cool.
I
It was
had no idea
awesome.
they did that. Yeah. Just make it
No, it
easier to
was awesome.
transition for you, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's kind of like where I kind of, not kind of, that's exactly where I fell in love with the organization. Of course, when you get drafted, you're like, oh, I'm so happy. This is awesome. I'm drafted. But I really fell in love with it when I was like, wow, they really do like care for you. Because, a lot of these organizations, at this, I'll call it how it is. A lot of the organizations, you draft you and they're like, all right, go play. It was like,
Hmm.
no, they want to ease you into it, make sure your arm is healthy, you're healthy, make sure everything's going good, and genuinely care about you as a person. That's why I really love being a Toronto Blue Jays. They really, really care about people, like the person who TJ Brock is as a person. So it makes it
Well,
awesome to play for them. Just
yeah,
people
no,
care about
that's
you as a
great. And
person.
I know we've even had several of the members of the mental performance department on the show. And that was one thing that kind of blew us
Yeah,
away, was when they were going over like how much resources and time they
yeah,
put into just the mental well-being of all of the ball players as well. Like this is something that even 10
yeah.
years ago wasn't really a part of the game. And
No,
it's really cool to see it is.
yeah, and it's really helpful. I mean, like whether people like say it or it's not, like you are gonna get homesick after a while. Whether you're home, like you want to be back in Florida at the facility in a controlled environment, or back in your house. For me, it'd be Cincinnati. So it was great to get out there, and have the support staff, and then also ultimately like the guys on the team when you're joining, they know you're drafted, they know you're really excited, but also at the same time, like you don't know anybody, like you don't know anybody at all. So it was a wonderful experience just to get out there, and I think that the support staff told them, of course, like new guys were coming up, hey, like go out of your way to meet them and introduce yourself, because I remember the first day I got there, like I met everybody on the team, and I couldn't remember anybody's names, but it was just so nice for everybody to come up and introduce themselves. They definitely didn't have to do that, but they did. They went out of their way to introduce yourself to me, help other guys. So it was like it was really great. I mean, they definitely care about the players in this organization, and it's a first class organization. I can't say any, I really can't say anything better about them. I mean, I love it here.
That's very cool, man. I could just picture you getting that call and then being like, "Hey, can you be here Wednesday?" And you're like, that's wing night." No. No.
So, I mean, yeah, and it was definitely like, all right, like I need to pack, and it was like, all right, my parents aren't even at the house right now, so I was like, we gotta wait. I was like, I need one more day at least in that.
Yeah. So tell me about your promotion from Dunedin to Vancouver, because number one, that must have been very exciting to get a promotion like that so early on. And
Yeah,
what was your impressions of Vancouver?
I was so that day that I threw in Dunedin, I was supposed to have woken up that day and throw a bullpen. Like I was supposed to just throw a bullpen, on my own, like at the facility with everybody. But I got a call like right, literally, I would say like 2 minutes before I was about to go to bed. I was about to turn my phone off, go to bed. I get a phone call and like, hey, do you want to go throw in the Dunedin game tomorrow? Now, I don't think it was really much of a like, do you want to? It's more like, hey, you're gonna
It's
go
like
throw
you
in the
are.
Dunedin game tomorrow. Yeah, it's like you're gonna go throw in the Dunedin game tomorrow, and then after that, you're gonna go to Miami and get your passport, and then if you get your passport, you're gonna go up to Vancouver. So it was like it was really cool. It was awesome, but at the same time, it
Had you
was
been
so
to
much work.
Canada
I just
before that?
remember uh as a kid, like real little, and I don't even know what part. Like when I say can't, like
Okay.
my dad, my dad's side of the family is from Michigan. Like I probably drove through the border. We had like a little baseball tournament up there, but I couldn't even tell you where. And I was like 8 or 9, really
Yeah.
young. But no, it was really cool. It was a lot. Like going to Miami, get the passport the next day, go to Canada, then go up to Canada. It was a lot, but it was super cool. It was really cool.
How was Nat Bailey Stadium? What are the crowds like in Vancouver?
Amazing. They're amazing. The fans there are great. I mean, they just love that Vancouver Canadians. Like that's who it is. They love us, the players. Now I met some like I had a fan one time. It was a young lady. She was probably like 28 something. She was like, oh, I brought my kid to the game, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. She goes, can I ask you a question? I was like, yeah, anything. Like, what's going on? She goes, how do you win? And I was like, how do you win the baseball game? She goes, yeah. And I was like, I mean this the nicest way possible. I said, to be honest with you, we touched that home plate right there more than the other team does. She goes, that makes perfect sense. Thank you so much. So it was awesome. It was awesome. The fans are super cool, super nice, and it was really an amazing experience. Like just going to the games, you go there, and I think like the big thing for me is like I love fan experience. I remember when I was a kid and seeing younger kids at the games and wanting to give them a ball, and a lot of kids are like, oh, let's play rock paper scissors for a ball, and it's like, all right, I'll play rock paper scissors. Just being out there, the fan experience is great there. I mean, you're getting, I don't know, 5,000 to 7,000 fans a night. So the only way they keep coming back is if you're polite, respectful, and ultimately like it helps when they're there. Like I definitely enjoy playing with them there, and having them on my side while I'm pitching and I'm cheering. So it was great. It really
Because
was,
they
and the
do
people there are wonderful.
they do draw more than most of the rest of the Northwest League, right? Like, there's
Oh,
more
for
people
sure.
in. Yeah,
Yeah,
there is.
they.
Okay,
I
yeah.
mean, yeah, you can't even compare. I think the most that we had were I was in. We were at the Oregon Stadium. We were playing the Giants organization, and they had I think 1,200 was the most fans. So most places are getting like 800 to 1,000, maybe 1,200 on the most, and we're getting 6,000 to 7,000. And the
Wow,
fans are great. I mean, they're
that's
they're showing up.
substantially
They're
more.
showing up early. Yeah, they're showing up early, just cheering on us. We're in the bullpen, getting ready warmed up, and they're cheering on us, and they really do care. And it's an awesome environment. It's an environment that's like unbeaten. Like even I played at Ohio State, so I had some big crowds there, and the
Hmm.
environment in Vancouver was second to none. I mean, it was really awesome.
That's very cool, man. So we've had some listeners ask us, and you're much more equipped to answer this than we are. So hopefully you can shine some light on it. I know you spent most
Yeah.
of your time this season in Vancouver, but we've been asked several times, what is the biggest difference between low A and high A? How much of a talent jump is that, and is it that much more difficult to pitch to low A guys than guys in the Northwest League?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I only threw one inning in Dunedin, so it was kind of hard for me to
To
really
actually
see
judge,
because
yeah.
yeah, to actually judge. I don't want to like say that and give an unfair assessment because I think I only threw like 11 pitches, so I was just yeah, I don't know. I'll say that what I can say is the difference between college and like professional baseball is like the chase. Like so your chase pitches, they won't chase like it has to be an actual competitive pitch. And even then like the good hitters still are sitting, in a possible they could be sitting like a zone, like a hitter could be sitting a zone or they could be just sitting a specific pitch. So yeah, the big thing from college to pro ball is that competitive pitch. It actually has to be a competitive pitch. And if O2, you're like, okay, spike the slider, spike the curveball. It's like, I wouldn't really spike it because they're probably not going to swing at it. It's more like, all right, let's expand it where it starts to strike and ends the ball, as opposed to spiking it because they see that right away. That was the biggest thing that I learned from college to pro ball is they see the difference in the pitches like that.
That must change your mentality when you're on the mound a little, eh?
Yeah, it's just you just got to get used to it real fast and know that like all right, I can't bury the slider, and if I do bury the slider, don't have it bounce in the front of the plate, have it bounce towards the back side of the plate where it's like they can't hit it and it still looks like a really good pitch. But it's just like baseball is a game of adjustments. So you have to adjust to it fast and you know play with it because if you don't adjust to it, you're going to continue to throw the same pitch and you're going to continue to get the same outcome. That's going to be a ball.
So most Blue Jays fans, TJ, are unaware of this. They will come to learn it soon enough. But dude, you're a bit of a strikeout machine. Your whiff and your swing and miss is unreal. It honestly is, man. Like I was looking over
Yeah.
your numbers and like, well done. You've been a
Thank
closer and a
you.
high leverage, a closer and a high leverage guy throughout your college career, and we saw that same sort of stuff out of you in Vancouver. What's your mentality on the mound when you need a strikeout? Because it always seems like high velo and high strikeout guys, they're just like a little more intense. Like, does that hold true for you?
Yeah, it definitely does. I'd say high velo guys, high strikeout guys, you have some sort of like tenacity, I guess, when you're pitching. I don't know. I just when I'm throwing and I know I'm in the game. For me, I take everything like super personal. Like I'm in the game. Like my coach put me in right here. Like I have to do my job. Like I have my job is in my eyes. My job is to not let them touch the bat to my ball. Now, like granted, I know I can't strike everybody out, but like I'm gonna make sure I strike out. Like if I face 20 people, I'm gonna try to strike out 20. And if I don't strike out 20, I'm striking out 19. So I'm gonna.
I
I
love it.
guess my biggest thing is like, like when I see another hitter. I mean, at the end of the day, he's trying to put up a run against me, and it's like, well, I definitely can't allow that to happen. So I take it as like a personal challenge. Like, all right, I'm not gonna allow you to even touch the ball here, and it's kind of just what I think of. Just I got to make it easy on my team, and ultimately, I got to strike you out. Because,
You got
I
that
don't know.
28-year-old fan with her son that's counting on you.
Yeah, exactly. She probably has no idea what's going on, but she just doesn't want anybody to touch the ball. And I'm like, I
That's
don't know.
right.
I can't help it. I just can't. I don't know. When I see it, I just have to strike them out. I don't know why. I don't know. I
I
don't
love
know.
that
I just have to
mentality,
strike them
man.
out. I
I love that.
I
Do
feel
you
like
have
honestly, I feel like if they put the ball in play, I feel like I'm like, dang, I really just let myself down and my family down. It's like, man, I gotta strike you out. I can't even. I feel like if you put the ball in play against me, it's like, damn, like good luck. But man, you
I
got me
love
right
that you
there.
added your family to that. You're like, I let myself down. I let my family down, my friends. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Like no, like I'm telling you, I take it really personal. I'm like, man, especially if I give up a run, I'm like, man, this sucks. Like I just gave up a run. I was like, man, my team's counting on me. I was like, man, this is hard, but no, it's fun. You play the game for fun. You do it for who you do it for, and it was a lot of fun though. I hate giving up hits though. Oh, I hate that. That's terrible. It's the worst thing ever.
well, you've got the stuff to help avoid that. My man, do you remember the first time you hit triple digits? Like the 100-mile-per-hour club on planet Earth is a pretty elite group of guys. Like there's not
Yeah.
many in that group. Do you remember the first time you hit that 100 on the radar gun?
I do. Yeah, I remember. the number that stuck out more to me was when I hit 99. I was at a scout. I was in college. It was a scout day. My dad was there, and my two buddies, and my pitching coach. And this was when COVID was a big thing. So at Ohio State, little quick story at Ohio State, COVID was like crazy big. You know, shut down the whole campus. And I was sitting here. I'm like, I talked to my head coach. I was like, his name is Coach Beals. I was like, Bealsy, what do you want me to do? I was like, you set up a scout day, and then Ohio State kind of just shut everything down. He goes, all right, you're just gonna have to go to another high school field, do this on your own. I'll tell all the scouts and everybody that you're throwing there. So I go there and I throw, and then I get done throwing, and then my pitching coach, after he told me everybody, I said thank you to everybody. He goes, you did great today. And I was like, no. I was like, I know, I felt great. I threw 2 innings. I struck everybody out, but I hit one person. I was like, man, I felt bad. I hit him. And he goes, do you know how hard you're throwing? I was like, honestly, no, I don't. How hard are you throwing? He goes, oh, you threw great. You sat 97, 99. He goes, you threw like 3 pitches, 97, and then everything else was like 98, 99. I was like, what? Because this time was the hardest I've ever thrown. I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, yeah, you hit 99. I was like, his name's Eric. I was like, Eric, like, come on, like, stop lying. Like, I know, like, I did well today, like, but like, did I actually? And he showed me videos. I'm like, oh my God, I hit 99. So then I remember after that was in like October. Then I just kept working on mechanics. And then I hit 100 in November. And I was like, oh yeah, this is kind of cool. So I remember I threw it in a bullpen, and I was like, all right, this is really cool. I was like, all right, I hit 100. So then I remember I came home, my dad's like, how'd you do? I was like, oh, I hit 100 today. And I just couldn't, I don't know. I was really excited to hit 100. It was really cool.
I love that, man.
It must feel so much more attainable once you get to 99. Like, you probably threw hard your whole life, and we're like, oh, maybe one day I could throw 100 when I'm like 10 years older than I am today. But once you get 99, you're like, oh, I could actually throw 100.
That was the breaking point. It was like, all right, once I hit 99, I was like, oh, this is easy. Like, in my head, I was like, oh, there is a number. There's something I can't hit now. 99, I was like, oh, this is easy. Like, come on, like, let's go. Let's see how hard I can throw. that was the easy part.
Amazing. TJ, do you mind if I ask you a stupid question here?
No, not at all.
They say there's no stupid questions, but I swear this is a dumb one. Do they use PitchCom in Vancouver?
Yeah, no, it's not a dumb question at all. Yeah, we do.
Wait for it.
Oh no,
there's a second part.
Wait for it. There's a second part here. I was just.
All right.
So the stupid question is, what's the voice like? Is it robotic? Is it like fastball down and away, or is it like the Australian GP?
Yeah. Yeah, it's what does it sound like? Yeah, it's like 4-seam fastball. Yeah, no, it's super like robotic. It's like 4-seam fastball, slider, cutter, curveball. Like it's definitely robotic, but like it can get too loud though. Like, so there's like little buttons you put it in your hat, and you have like a volume up, volume down. And I remember one time, like, I could hear another team's like thing, and they of course call time, but like you actually have to be like really careful with the PitchCom, because it's like, you know, you see in the MLB, like they're always like covering their ear, and they're like, I can't hear.
Because they got it real low.
You could have it too loud. Yeah, you could have it too loud because it's like really robotic, and it's like boom, boom, 4 fastball. You could hear it if it's too loud, but yeah, no, it took I'd say about like 2 games to get used to. It was really weird at first, I'm not gonna lie. It was super weird, but then you and you're on the same page, whereas I'm coming set the pitch that I want, and the catcher's throwing the same, he's clicking and it's like, all right, yeah, we're on the same page. So it makes it easy.
I love it. Okay, thank you for answering that. I don't know why I wanted to know what the voice was so bad. Like, since it's come into Inception here, I'm like, what is it? Like, what does it sound like?
No, it's a good question, because I remember I was asking, I was like, the Spanish guys on the team, is it in Spanish? Is it in, English? It's in English, but I had hella questions about it too. I was like, what? No way. It was, I don't know.
So it is in English for everyone
too, but it's in English for everyone. It's super, it's like super easy here, super easy to do. It just took weird to get used to, because you're sitting there like coming set, I remember first game, you come set, you're like, all right, put down the sign, and it's like in your hat. You're like, what the fat? I'm like, all right, yeah, I forgot we had the thing. So it catches you off guard, but super easy to get used to.
So you might not know this either. You might though. So I'm gonna ask you: with MLB banning the shift and making bases bigger and going to the pitch clock, do you know? Are they following suit throughout the minor leagues? Like, is this going to be the regular practice from low A right up to triple A type of thing?
They did everything. They did everything in Vancouver except for the automated strike zone.
Okay.
So they did everything but the automated strike zone. I couldn't really tell a difference. I couldn't tell a difference in anything except for calm. Because there's at times where like I would want to come set a little longer. Just kind of like to freeze batter. You know what I mean? You want to, sit there and it's like a psychological game at the same time. You want to do a long hold because it shows like that the pitcher's in total control, and then you have the hitter just sitting there, waiting to hit the ball. But that was kind of like, it was a problem I ran into. It was like, man, I had 3 more seconds possibly to hold and, get the batter timing off. But everything else fine.
So pitch clock it took a little to get used to, eh?
Yeah, that's 100%. Pitch clock definitely took time to get used to. Like, yeah, because part of the pitch clock will tell you is you only have 2 pickoff attempts. And say you get on the mound, like I'm a pitcher that like I get on the mound, I have, I want to be. The batter wants me in control. He doesn't want me wild because he doesn't want me to hit him with the 100, and I don't want to hit him with the 100. But it's like, all right, you get on the mound and say your foot place, you don't, there's like a little dirt or something, right? It doesn't feel good. It's like, well, you have to step off. Well, if you step off, that's technically one of your pickoff moves. So whether you throw it or not. So you have to be careful, making sure that, in your warm-up pitches that you have 2 minutes in, that the mound is the way you like it. Because when it's go time, it's go time. Because if you step off, that's one. Step off a second time, it's like, okay, like you have no more pickoffs. So you have to, deliver the ball. But yeah, that took some time to get used to because you have to do all that in under, it's like 20 seconds. Batter's got to be in 9 seconds or something like that. 15 or 20 seconds, something like that.
Did you, on the topic of pickoff attempts, did you notice whether yourself or just from watching the Canadians play there in Vancouver, an increase in base running because of it?
No. Everybody would think that, but at the same time, like you still got to run, and there's still they can pick you off, and you still get thrown out. So it was definitely, I would say it was the same. Yeah, I definitely would say it was the same because when the clock hits 0-0, you're either going to pick off or throw the pitch, and the runner on base doesn't want to get picked up. So he's definitely not going to run. Maybe if it's a steal, then he's going to steal at 0-0. But other than that, nobody's going before that. So it was really realistically like it felt the same and looked the same, and I didn't see it different.
TJ, have you seen Josh Naylor of the Guardians' home run celebration where he pretends the pitcher's a baby and then rocks him as he runs around?
Yeah.
I'm curious what your thoughts on that. If you were a pitcher and someone did that to you, would you take exception to it?
I mean, like at the end of the day, all right. Say like I'm pitching. Say like he did it and I'm pitching. I'm Garrett Cole. I just like, yeah, every blind squirrel finds a nut. I mean, like at the end of the day, like I'm Garrett Cole. You're Josh Naylor. Like to be honest, I really don't even know who you are. I bet you Garrett Cole didn't even know who he was a year. Garrett Cole is Garrett Cole. So it doesn't mean anything. And I'm from Cincinnati, so I'm rooting for, Cleveland to beat the Yankees just because it's like, all right, I want Ohio to do well. At the end of the day, they still lost it. So I don't think Garrett Cole would really care. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't care, especially if you won the game. It'd be like, nice, you hit a home run and you did all that and you lost. You kind of just look stupid. but like if he hit, say it was like a walk-off home run and he did that and we won, it'd be like, all right, yeah, that's kind of, I mean, at the time, I'd be more mad that I gave up the home run, but it'd be like, yeah. That's cool, acceptable, because you just walking off, and you made the game win, but they lost. So like, to be honest, me personally, it looks stupid if you lost, but at the same time, it's probably really cool to be a part of. I don't know. I'm saying that now because I'm sitting in a hotel and he's playing playoff baseball. So ultimately, he's doing something right.
Well, hey, honestly, I just was curious as a pitcher what your view was on it, and I know that it's a pretty divided subject, normally between generations. But I love the idea. I honestly respect your take of like, well, don't give up the home run then. Like it's kind of like, you're like, I'd be mad at myself.
Like it is what it is. Like the one who screwed up, I take it personal. It's like, dang, I threw this pitch in the wrong spot. Like you got, how I think is like, oh, you got lucky, good job, but like you're not doing it again, so you can keep the same thing. I don't know. I get too emotional. Like I never get too high, I never get too low. Just, and do my job, win the game, call it a day, go back out, do it again tomorrow.
Love that mentality. So TJ, Adam and I are stand-up comedians, and I find there's like a common thread between comedians and baseball players, and that is drunk, loud hecklers are something both industries deal with. In college or even pro ball, have you ever got heckled or witnessed a teammate get heckled where it like stands out? It was memorable. Like the worst hecklers are the ones that are actually funny and make everyone around them laugh. Has there ever been anything like that stands out in your memory?
Yeah. Michigan. I'm not going to get into it, but just Michigan. Playing at Michigan's field. It's not. I mean, my dad played baseball. My mom played volleyball at Michigan. So I grew up a Michigan fan. But when I committed to Ohio State and then like at Michigan, I heard everything and under the, like it was crazy and stuff. And I was like the closer at the time. The like I guess you could say like the high ranked player. This was my junior year and senior year. So I remember when I was playing at Michigan, I played at Michigan Boost, and it was crazy. Needless to say, I won't repeat that, but I heard everything. I mean, I was in the bullpen. I'll tell you this: I was in the bullpen, which is in right field, and there's a gate behind. Right, there's a gate behind, a fence blocked off, and I had like people all around because it was a sold out game. It's like 6,000 sold out. Everybody wanted to watch Michigan, Ohio State. Like everybody wants to. And I remember just all around the gate, people are saying stuff to me, running into the game. I closed the game. We win, and I remember getting off the field, and it's like I had a Michigan worker there. He was like, "Great game today, son. Is you want me to walk you out?" I looked at him. What do you mean walk me? I'll walk myself. I'm good. Thank you. And he goes like, "I'm gonna walk out." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He goes around the corner. And I look corner, and it's just like 30 people just sitting there bussing me out, this, that, and I was like, oh yeah, we'll go to the. I was like, yeah, let's go to the bus. He's like, all right. It was crazy, but I mean, that's what makes the rivalry so fun. The Michigan Ohio State rivalry, there's nothing like it. And I like, and if say I had a magical wand, I was like, do you want to take all that away? No, not at all. Yeah, that's what makes it really fun, and all really like honestly that. Why I so well is like, man, this is fun. I gotta beat these people, especially they're gonna get really mad.
Well, my dude, it's setting you up well to pitch in the AL East, my friend, because it gets pretty wild.
The old adage, right? If you're not scared for your life, are you even playing sports? We lost him. Crickets.
Oh, there we go.
Can you hear me?
Back. Yeah, there we go, buddy. All right, TJ, thank you so much for all your time and being so generous with it, man. Like, it was really cool to talk some baseball with you, buddy, and hopefully we can twist your arm and convince you to come back here when next season.
Thank you. No, I really had a great time on here. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. Seriously, I had a lot of fun. It was awesome.
Awesome. Right on, my dude. Take care. All the best over the off season, and best of luck next year, man. We hope to see you in a Blue Jays uniform soon enough.
You will. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it, guys.
Good luck.
Later, buddy.